Episode 5. That's actually 10, but 5. We got ourselves the first yins. Second yins now on the board. We have the Pitt Intramurals, second party of the Ding Dongs of PA Pittsburgh, of Three Rivers. Too bad there wasn't a third yins. There might be. Maybe Puss or Nips's kids. Who knows? We might add, maybe add their twin wives. Who knows? We'll add somebody. We need to find another person from Pittsburgh. Balance this shit out. The high guys are too fucking loaded on their end for too many players. But you add the Yinzers together, they're kind of like Pokemon. You got your masters. These are the masters. You got two Yins in the top 5, at least by my predictions. But Pitt Intramurals, Adolfo, Oliver, Nips, Mr. Dave. Yinzers. He likes drinking his Bush Light. He's going to get fucked up. But he fucks up a lot of people on Bush Lights. You know, it happens. We all get fucked by Bush. Or fuck the Bush. Whatever. So Nips has been one of the original members. Going back to season 1, he was that person who came in right after the draft. Right before the season started. Hey, I want to join the league. Okay, fair enough, but you're gonna have to take a team full of fucking rejects. And in '95, there was a shit ton of rejects, and I can't even remember his fucking roster. There's nobody left on it. That's obvious. I think he traded everybody away by the end of season 2, or free agents or whatever like that. He ended up with Steve Yzerman, who ended up with Klein, who ended up with everybody else. Who knows where the fuck Yzerman is now? Sumter, I think he is. Either way, neither here or there. Original QW member, his first season was shit. He, like I said, he took over a dumpster fire. It's basically the runs he gets from Bush Light would have been right in line with that. Then in Y2K, he caught the Yinzer butt. He fucking shit in Bush Light all the place because maybe he got scared because he played me and I knocked him out in the first round of the shitty bill. A fall from grace, which is right. Fucking fingers, work with me here. Right here. Finally. I got to remember, this is everything that I'm doing is the exact same fucking thing instead of the other way around, which was first. Ding dong. Join the club. So Nips actually had some good progress in his seasons, and then he hit the fucking slopes. So basically, right now, he went up his Everest and fell off the cliff right down into the fucking valley of Florida where it's sinking. That's the fucking level that he hit. But his first season, 16, 26, 1-3. Like I said, he took over a bad team, but he won the shitty bill. Very first shitty bill winner. He took over, was it the Hartford Hot Jets, who fucking pumped and sprayed for a few seasons of coming back and then disappearing after 1 or 2 seasons, saying, "Oh, I can't do this." Then fucking don't commit. Stay the fuck out of our league. I'm sick and tired of these fucking ding dongs who come in. Bobby Bond, you're on that list. Hartford Hot Jets, Leviathan, you're on that fucking list. Coach Mike, you're on that list. There's a few other people on there. Sammy Smith, you're allowed to come back. King Raff, you're allowed to come back. Halifax, you're allowed to come back. Everybody else can suck a fat fucking moose cock. Straight from Canada. Canada. Exactly. Fuck you, Nips, with your freaking smoke as well. Saying, "Oh, the Canadian smoke is affecting my ability to drink Bush Light." Well, go drink your fucking sludge water, and I'll enjoy my good Canadian beers. It actually has alcohol in it. It's not a fucking wine cooler. I'm a Zima drinker. Fuck you, Nips. Love you, though. Then he bounced into the first round, and then he went back-to-back conference finals. And then he hit the wall. And then he came back, lost in the first round, and then lost in the conference finals this past season to who other than his fucking buddy Puss. Nips and Puss, they like body parts. Nips and Puss. But they're both assholes. Either way, funny thought. This is the season where we could be possibly seeing a record-breaking Nips or a complete collapse again. Who knows? This might be a 10. And if I take this out of there, it's 1 season up, 1 season up, 1 season down. 1 season up, 1 season up, down. This could be the collapse right here of 02. We're gonna find out very soon. And Nips, you might break out of it. You got a pretty favorable division. You got MN Yoda, you got Techno John, you got Dink, Providence, Saginaw. Your only competitions against Puss and Ellis. Providence, if he gets his dick out of his ass and stops the refereeing, go drop your puck in your hand with a remote controller and play your fucking games. Fucking Becker. The black eye of high. Chalky, you've been removed of that title. You've earned that right to take it away. Give it to fucking Becker. And then Dink might surprise, who knows, and G-Lock. Apparently his Jets are fucking fiery. I wish he was in my division, then we could have fucking had a little bit more fucking fighter action. But it's okay. We'll play at least 2 games. Strengths. Well, we'll get to the strengths in a bit. But you can see his collapse. He went down to 458 that season. That was in the 99. He had the Y2K bug. He glitched out. Digital hockey did not give him any favors that season. And he glitched out. Worst season, in my honest opinion, of this real roster. This season, I don't really count. This is the season we care about. His strengths. One of the strongest players in the league about the dead man. Knows really how to fuck people up in the corner. Throw that little chalky puck in the air, and it's just like a punt return. Catch the ball, pop, knock your fucking teeth out. Canadian dump. Another Yinzer that knows how to do it. And like I talked about, the lanes takes advantage of it, uses his left wing, his right wing picks it up. His left winger is going to be, remember, I have to remember the video's flipped. His left winger throws the puck around the boards, and his right winger is right there in time, pick it up, drop it into the net, score. It's easy, Canadian dump. Or we can call it the three river miracle, because it takes 3 sections of this to succeed. Around the net, winger pick it, winger dump it. The three river dump. Scoring frenzy. Nips is known to fucking go completely off. Is it whether the Busch Light hit second gear or downshift? It really depends. When he downshifts, he shits the bed. And when he fucking gears it up, he hits that boss and fucking pounds it. He puts goals up in bunches. He can score 6-7 goals in a game easy if he gets on a fucking run and finds gaps in the game. And if somebody's fucking dozing on it, he's going to take full advantage of it. He's another Sean Bell. But the thing is with Nips, he knows how to accelerate that process and not look back. He doesn't give a fuck. Run up the score. Fuck you. I don't care who you are. I'm going to fucking pound it out on him. And he takes full advantage of it. I give him props for that. His streams are pretty awesome. I love his bunting. He's got to improve on it, though, because Puss is pulled away from him in streaming. But still, Nips is one of the top streamers in the league, and he has one of the best connections. Weaknesses. Busch Light. Nips, go drink your Busch Light and shit your pants. Remember that motto? Huh? But Busch Light is his weakness. If he's drinking Busch Light, take advantage of him, because he fucking goes completely AWOL and doesn't know what the hell's going on. Really shits the bed at that. He's not very strong when he's trailing. If you put 2-3 goals up on him, and you can coast against Nips, just forecheck and keep the puck out of your net. Easier said than done. But he's that type of team where if you get up on him early, he struggles to battle back. He's done it, but he's not consistently fighting his way back. Only a few different styles. When I say only a few different styles, or only a few styles, there's only a few styles that his gameplay accelerates his progress. He can't really adjust to an odd style. LHX, he's played him enough times that he's picked up that weird magician type style. But when he gets caught off guard by a coach that he hasn't played in a while or hasn't played much against, it's a different. And if that person's improved since then, catches him completely off guard. Happened to him when he played against me. Then I shit the bed the next 2 seasons against him. I think I only won 1 of 4 games against him, or maybe 1, 2, and 1. I don't know. But he scores in bunches. But his style of play is so it's straightforward. It's not fucking anything XYZ. It's like, here's X. You're going to get it fucked in the ass, and it's going to happen. Ian doesn't know how to do it. We're going to fuck you, and we're going to fuck you, and we're going to fuck you. I don't know if that's how PA people talk, but that's how When Nips talks, that sounds how it sounds like in the back of my head. And whenever he's fucking talking in his car videos, it always makes me wonder. I'm like, what goes through his head when he has choice of music? I don't even fucking know. But at the end of the day, this is the song that comes to mind whenever he fucking does that. Nips is the wrong time. Whoa. Shit your pants all the time. You drink Bush Light in your playoff games. You shit the bed and it's Yinzer time. Ah. That's what comes to my head whenever it is. It's the longest time. What the fuck is he playing the hard ass music for a fucking pure white person? You're not badass Nips. Why don't you play fucking some Celine Dion in the car? It would have been just as effective. And I love the videos because not many people do them, and it's always hard. AKA Yinzerville here. We're gonna fuck you up, but we're gonna shit our pants first because we get the wrong. Hey, Wolf and Klein holds back. Dark side, we don't hold back anybody. I'm gonna shit the bed on myself too, because I'm just as guilty as the next fucking klutz out there. But when we go over to his roster is a little bit more something. It still bites me when I made that trade for Forsberg. He still has the pieces in place, but I still cherish the trade that I did out of it because I got the. I made the fucking mistake trading Hasek. I had to fucking manage my way through with the shitty goaltending. Now I got fucking Vancouver. So now I can focus on my defense, which we're going to get to me eventually. But at the same time, too, this team is still really good. I marked it up. You can see there's a few players in here with red. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to basically, he's going to have to fill up some roster spots. So whenever I'm going to put the red going forward, those are players that are going to retire after the lockout. Once the lockout's done, they're not going to be in the league anymore. It's not like he's going to cut them. He just won't have them. So Dwayne Rolly Rollison, it's a solid goalie. You got him from me in the trade for Vancouver. He was a part, like I got rid of Rollison because I didn't really need him. Because once I got Vancouver, I don't need fucking Rollo. So Rollo's, though, average 71 over 10 years, high of 85, low of 52. 52 is the tail end of his career. Post-lockout, he can find a fucking solution moving forward. And Nips is one of the strong manual goalies in the league. Not elite, strong. Tom Barrasso, I added it to his roster because he needed a backup goalie. So Barrasso's not even a part of the question. It's not even a part of the equation. I've almost come to the conclusion as well that we all need backup goalies. If that's not even a need, we'll go down to one goal. But I know there's a few teams that will complain about it, and I know the Grand will have a problem with us. I need 2 goalies. I need them rotate. Because that's hot streaks and stuff involved. It doesn't matter. It's all random. If you have to compete with a fucking shit goal, you're going to compete with a shit goal. We already reviewed Segathon. Your goaltending doesn't matter. You don't need to sub them out. Just use one. And if you use one, there's only one other team in the league that used multiple goalies a few times. But you're the enigma. You're the only person that tends to use it. Go against the grain. That's fine. That's what you do in Minnesota. Who has the smallest soda pops? Minnesota. It doesn't matter. That's a fucking dad joke. Whatever. Even though I'm not a dad, but either here or there. Oh, I'm a dad to Sam. She bitches and moans at me all the time. But either here or there. Then he's got his Goliath. He's got Marian Hossa, who, looking back now in hindsight, I should have kept Hossa. Would have had Dwayne Rollison in net and Caberlet on defense. Traded Forsberg away, got Mogilny. Traded Mogilny away, got to Chuck. Traded Chuck away and got Straka. Kind of a regression there in overall abilities, but I need fuck you speed. I should have kept Mogilny, put him on the opposite wing. Should have left it. Kind of, I don't know. Mogilny just didn't gel with my team, and Chuck was a fucking misfire. But Marian Hossa, 84 average over 15, high at 97 or 81. Perfect fucking piece to build around if he wants to do that. And he's the first player in league history to have 3 100-point scorers in one season. He's had the most 100-point scorers in the history of the building. Nips could score. But I said before, He knows how to score in frenzies. He frenzies it up and blows people out. Sergei Zoltok, 74 over 2. Doesn't really matter. He's got a 79 and a 70 high-low. It's not going to make a big difference. Zoltok's kind of a mixed player in the bagging right now, especially he's added some more pieces in the low end of his depth chart. He's going to fucking sub him out. You might use him on a penalty kill, or if a player gets injured, that's the only way he's going to come in, unless he really wants to prove a point, which he did against fucking Kleiner by putting Zoltok and being like, look, this is what's better. This is what I got from the fucking Steve Eisenman trade, Sergei Zoltok. And he had to prove a point that he's like, hey, look, I can score more goals with Zoltok than I did with Eisenman. I think he came pretty close, but I'm not going to get into that discussion because I think that might be the season where he shit the bed. It might have been. Oleg Saprikin, 60 overall, 5 years. He's a depth piece. He's not going to really keep him. He might fucking ship him out at the end of the season or during the season for a trade piece. 77 overall, low 55. It's not something he's going to keep on his roster. Pavel Dimitras might be one of his starters. It might be his wing. 77, 8, high, low, 85, 64. It's a good piece to build around with Hossa, which is really good to have, especially if you have a strong winger and let Hossa run up the middle. I think Dimitri was a 100-point scorer last season as well. And then you got Magnus Arvidsson. The real Slim Shady's Magnus, me. That's the fucking phony baloney. So take your Busch Light and shit on his pants there, Nips. But 76, 3 years left. So post-lockout, he's gone. Same thing with Zoltok. He's gone as well. 83, 73 high-low. Arvidsson, he's going to try to do the same thing again. Put some points on the board. Depth piece, penalty killer. Sub him out for an injured player. You can kind of interchange Zoltok and Arvidsson at this stage of his careers. And then he's got Martin Havlat. Big Minnesota Wild player. Was around for a while. Played for the Blackhawks as well. But 71 over 14. 86, 55 high-low. The lows of the 55, there's like tail end of his career, he had like fucking mid-60s and lower 4 or 5 seasons. So he's gone for at least a good 10 years. Then he moves to his defense, which is one of the pieces he needs to focus on, his post-lockout depth and post-lockout defense. He needs a stud on defense because his roster kind of will shit the bed after post-lockout. Gary Suter, 1 year left. Then he's got Christian Kudryk, 1 year left. So he's going to lose 2 defensemen next season. So he's going to have to fill those spots. And that's maybe why he added those draft picks. 82 and 76 respectively. But then he's got Thomas Caberlet, who's his other starter. So he's going to have Suter and Caberlet probably. And if Suter kind of screws up, he's going to bring Markov in. I've seen him pull in Markov every once in a while because there's some abilities that Markov carries that are something that Nips covets. Sometimes just a dumpster fire of a defenseman when shit's going south, he decides to fucking sub people out. But Caberlet, 77 over 12, 83, 68 high-low. Perfect piece. Very mobile defenseman. I think 5s and 6s in speed, and the agility's in the 5s and 6s as well for a couple seasons, especially the upcoming ones. And then Danny Markov, 72 and 5, 80, 69 high-low. 61 high-low. So it's a good roster. Nips can do it. If he can score 3 100-point scorers in 76 games last season, his best season ever, there's quite a possibility that he could do it again. But it's going back to that whole thing again. It could be a record-breaking year or a complete collapse. He's got a division that allowed him to be able to get to that part of the record. But who knows? It's going to be his outer conference challenge to keep him going. Interdivision, he's going to do well, which will jack up his wins. But then it's the other division of this conference. There's probably 4 or 5 teams he's going to have to struggle with, but he only has to play everybody else twice. It's his interdivision. He only has a few people that he has to challenge with. Otherwise, he's going to put up some fucking points in a bunch. So he could probably potentially have, again, 3 players over 100 points, potentially. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But this upcoming draft, he's got his first, he's got a second, he's got Italy's second as well. So he's got 3 picks. He's got 4 roster spots that are post-lockout that he needs to fill. He's got 2 seasons to do it. So he's got 5 draft picks and 4 players retiring. He can upgrade. He can package them and get up with a better player and find a solution for Gary Suter's replacement. If Caberlet is going to be there, that's not going to be a big difference for him. But that's pretty much where you go with him. Where do you kind of go? But At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. So that's the state of the W of the Pitt Intramurals. So going to the next topic, not many people have been posting things that they would like to talk about or things they want to hear me discuss in depth. So I'm gonna have to kind of think of some things, or people are gonna have to post some ideas because right now I have 0 left. The last one is how do you target proper offensive drone awareness? That's your lanes, going back up to it. And the other one is checking for drones. Checking for drones is the aggression and roughness. If those numbers are high, likelihood of his checking is high. So therefore, the drones will go and body check. But a lot of drones, it's the defense and offensive awareness. They're not looking to go body check much. They're looking just to get in there, or they're hooking, or they're holding your player. They're not looking to fucking blow up your guys. So the best thing for you guys to do, if you want more details, and I have probably another, I don't know how many more, I got 27 videos left to do. Come up with some ideas, things that you want to discuss in further in depth. So the draft lottery is something I've already kind of went through. Sutton send me his opinion again, which is perfectly fine. But basically, draft lottery is going to be in the queue since we only had 6 teams in the non-playoff. And since we're going to only 8 teams in the playoffs next season, it's going to be the top 10 worst records, which is the exact same thing as the NHL. You'll get your fucking ratings through it. So the 4 teams that got eliminated in the first round or buy-in, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Graceland, Philadelphia, Coruscant, and the Killers, all 4 of them are going to be in the draft lottery, but they cannot win the first overall pick because they're not a part of the shitty or the X Cup. So they're going to basically, they still have a chance to move up in the draft, but likelihood not. And then it's percentage based. So on the wheel, it's going to be reversed. So instead of having, like, say, Cowtown, who right now is the worst record in the queue, he would get 26 entries. But given 26 entries on a wheel, you're likely to get picked more often. So it's going to be the reverse. He's only going to have 3 entries, which is 3% chance that he will not be picked. Or 3% chance that he'll be picked, 97% chance that he won't be picked. So teams that are at the bottom, or 10th, 9th, and 8th spot, are going to have the 26, 14, and 12 slots in the wheel. So 100 entries, and then your percentage is based on that. So that will determine the wheel for the draft. The draft lottery will do the same thing for the W, same thing for the Q, same thing for vintage and any other future seasons. So this was the state of the W. Pitt Intramurals, right here. Next video coming up, Taipei Typhoons, Nate Bell.